Okay, so now we're going to be using the AWS Certificate Manager to create an SSL certificate, and we're going to associate that with our domain that we just purchased. And by doing that, we're going to be able to set up HTTPS for encrypted traffic to our website. So we need to go into the AWS Certificate Manager, so go to Services and Certificate Manager. And if we've never used it before, we've got no certificates, we'll have a welcome screen here. We don't want to select private certificate authority. That is not what you want. You want to select provision certificates, and we'll click on Get Started there. What we want to do is we want to request a public certificate, and we click on Request a Certificate. And what we need to do now is that we need to add in our domain names. So the first one there, the devkid.com. And what we also want to do is actually have this certificate also for our subdomains as well. So we might have a www.thedevkid.com, or we might have user.thedevkid.com or whatever. So we can put those all in individually if we like. So we just go in here and add another name to this certificate. So you can see that we could put in there www.example.com. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a wildcard symbol. So just a star and then dot and then thedevkid.com or whatever your domain name is. And so what that will do is it will make this certificate valid for any subdomain as well as the root domain as well. We click on Next, and we've got two options here. So when Certificate Manager first came out, there was only email validation. It did cause a few problems with a lot of students because the emails just seemed to go missing, or they typed in the wrong email when they were doing the certificate. So this lab is being recreated using the new DNS validation method, which I think is a lot quicker and easier. And what it does is that because we need to establish an association between our domain name and this certificate, what we do is the certificate manager gives us some records that we need to put into our domain name service, and then the certificate manager can pick those up, and by doing that it can identify that we do actually have power over that domain. So we click on Review, and we can see here we've got our domain name and our additional name being our wildcard symbol for all the subdomains, and our validation method there is DNS. We click on Confirm and Request. Okay, so it'll take a few seconds to get its things happening. So there it is. Now, because we've selected DNS validation, we need to create records in Route 53. Now, there is actually an easier way. We can actually export these by just downloading this file, which will have all those details for us, but there is a much easier way, and that is simply by expanding these domains. And in there you've got the name and the CNAME record type and whatever, and we can actually have the certificate manager do it for us. So we just click on Create Record in Route 53, and it'll ask us if that's okay, and we just click on Create. And it says success. So the DNS record was written to your Route 53 hosted zone for that domain. It takes up to 30 minutes for that to propagate across the internet, and then the certificate manager can pick that up. Now we should also do that for the wildcard domain, but we don't need to because they are exactly the same record. So you can see here that is exactly the same as that, and that is exactly the same as that. So we don't need to do anything. We just need to do that once to put that one record. If we do it twice, it's just going to override the other record. Okay, so we click on Continue, and that will take us to the certificate dashboard, which will list all of our certificates. So we've only got one there. It's pending validation, and it'll take about half an hour. So you go away, have a cup of coffee, whatever you want to do, and just come back and just click on refresh icon here until it's been validated. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes or so, and after clicking the refresh icon we can see that the status is now issued. So that brings us to the end of this part of the lab. Coming up next, we'll be creating a CloudFront distribution, which we'll be putting in front of our static website. And that will help us to have really low latency, high speed access to our website, no matter where in the globe we are actually located. So I'll see you in the next one.